Today on 2017 Forest River Rockwood Mini Lite trailer, we're going to review and install the adjustable width trailer hitch receiver for RVs, part number 13703. This is what the hitch looks like when it's installed in the back of our RV here. Notice it does sit pretty far back due to the construction of the trailer. And with our opening right here, we got plenty of room between the bumper and the hitch, so it'll give us a lot of room for any accessories you put into the hitch. As you can see here, the customer had another hitch mounted onto his tube right here. However, the problem he was running into that his accessory was too heavy and was actually twisting his bumper as he goes up and down the road. So this is a very good replacement for that problem. The weight capacity on your hitch is going to be rated for 350 pounds, which is the weight pushing down on the hitch like here. And then if this is on a motorhome, you can actually use this for pulling a trailer, and it's got a pull weight of 3,500 pounds. It will give you some measurements that'll help you out in selecting some accessories. From top of receiver opening down to the ground will be about 19 inches. And from the center of a hitch pin hole to the edge of a bumper, not counting a spare tire if you have one, it's going to be about 9 inches. Now our hitch is going to be a universal fit, so it does require you some drilling. In fact, you're going to drill about 8 holes, counting both sides, and then 2 more for a hitch to the brackets. This is a universal fit, so you can also use this in other vehicle or recreational vehicles or motorhomes. You can see on our trailer here, this works quite nicely with the I-beam construction of a trailer frame. On other trailers, if you try this out, this will work on C-channel frames as well as box frames as well. First part of our install is we have to get underneath the RV, and there's an under panel at the very bottom that we have to remove to get out of our way so we have easy access to the frame on the inside. These screws that hold the panel in place require a 3/8 socket. We're going to go all the way across, taking this piece off. Now we'll make our way down the side of the frame, removing these fasteners. Now these fasteners are using a Phillips head bit, so it comes off pretty easy. But there's a mixture of fasteners on this trailer. Sometimes the fastener you're using here is just actually just shot into the steel, so you kind of have to break the head of it and reinstall a new fastener in a relatively close area to it. We'll continue on going all the way down the side, probably about 3 or 4 foot. And we'll do this on both sides of the trailer. We have this fitting right here that we had to loosen up. It's just got some screws holding it in place as well. We'll be using a 3/8 socket to remove them. You will temporarily move this out of the way. We'll take this panel now that it's loose, and we'll simply push it down and out of the way. Let's take one of our brackets that come with the hitch and do a quick test set to see if there's anything in the way. We're looking at the passenger side, and this bracket's intended to sit up on the inside edge of the I-beam here. We'll hold it up against it and then slide it back as far as we can to give you an idea where it's going to mount up at. So we got plenty of room here on our passenger side. On our driver's side here, we got the wire harness in the way. So I'm going to use a 3/8 socket one more time to remove it. We'll just let that stay loose for now and leave it just like that. We'll double check with our bracket to make sure it fits okay. Okay, so it looks like we got plenty of room to install it. Let's grab the center section of our hitch and put it loosely into the end brackets. We're just going to slide them in loosely, just like that for now. We'll do the other side as well. Let's take our hitch now and grab an extra set of hands. We'll carefully pick it up, slide the brackets into the frame, and make sure it doesn't come off the center section, and we'll clamp it in place using some clamps. There. Now, when you put this up there, we'll try to slide it as far as the back as possible. If you look on the outside edge of the frame, you'll see this gusset here. This may get in the way of the holes that you drill for the hitch that comes out this way. To make room for that gusset, I'm going to take the hitch and scoot it back about 1 inch. That'll give us pretty close to the gusset, but still have enough room for hardware. Once we're satisfied with the position of the hitch on our trailer, we'll go ahead and mark and drill our holes out here. I'm going to use a 17/32 drill bit, which will help us center it best into the existing holes of the hitch. Just enough to find our center. I'll drill a pilot hole. A pilot hole can be anything like 1/4 inch or so like that. And then come back at it with the same bit. With the one hole drilled out, to make things a little bit safer so I don't have to rely on the clamps anymore, I'll go ahead and put some hardware, one on each side. We're going to use the supplied carriage bolt, the block, put it through, and on the other side, we'll get another block and a flange nut. Now I'm going to repeat this process for our remaining holes going into the side of a frame. And we'll end up having to orient our blocks like this to make sure that they don't overlap each other, as well as make room for a gusset right here too. All my hardware is on the side plates now, loose and installed, so we can still maneuver the center section of the hitch left and right so we can center it on our trailer. Once you have it centered the way you want it, I also measured on the outside edge to the bracket of the tube that was hanging out a little bit, made sure that's even as well. Once that's settled up, going towards the bracket here, you'll see 4 holes. There's 1, 2, you can see right here, 3, and 4. We gotta use 2 of these 4 holes on each side to install our hardware. We'll mark and drill our holes before. We'll drill it out with a 1/4 inch bit, back to our 17/32 bit, all the way through the tube here. We'll use this one here, and I'm gonna use one on the bottom as well. We have one piece of hardware installed right here. I'll show you how I do it. We'll use the supplied bolt leader and push it through the hole and out the end of the hitch. Take one of our blocks, slide it into place, then take our bolt, thread that on, take the bolt, this is the trick, slide that onto the bolt, and then make sure it stays at the head of a bolt as you rotate it, push it in. As long as it stays at the head of the bolt, we should barely get this through. Again, our block will go into place, and then our nut. We're done for passenger side, and we'll repeat all of this hardware exactly the same over on the driver's side. With all our hardware installed, now we can go ahead and tighten down the bolts. We'll use a 3/4 inch socket, and then torque them down as specified in the instructions. Last thing we need to do is put this underbelly panel back into place. I roughly did about 4 inches wide, about 15 inches long cut, and we'll tip it over the tube of the hitch and put it back into place. And this will make room, this part will make room for this part. Reinstall our fasteners, working our way towards the back. Won't forget to put our line back up into place. We'll work all the way around and we'll be good to go. That will finish it for adjustable width trailer hitch receiver for RVs. Part number 13703 on this 2017 Forest River Rockwood Mini Lite trailer.